Hi guys, sorry for the short intro. I'm trying to get into sewing lace underwear, and this is quite exciting for me because I am absolutely not used to stretch fabrics. No jersey, no lycra, no nothing. So you're going to see how this goes. Let's have a look at these modern thingies. I have my pattern here constructed by myself from the Bare Essentials book and adapted to be jazz pants with a higher leg open, not so much fabric for the waist, crotch and lining, and the front part, which is a little smaller, and the back part, which is a little broader. They tell you to sandwich the front part, sorry, this is the part between the crotch and the lining, and of course you need to use a zigzag stitch for the stretch fabric because otherwise your seam will just break with straight stitches. Trying out on your fabric is a very good way to do this, and yeah, as I said, use the front part between crotch and lining, not the back part. So I'm stitching this with a normal Teflon foot, and as you can see, the crotch and lining should be together on one side, and the lining should not be attached on the other side. I'm turning this around so that you can see what I mean. And so you have a seam allowance here that is just sticking up on one side, and you don't want the seam allowance on the inside of your panties, of course. So what I'm going to do is I'm turning these around so the inside of the seam is sandwiched between the crotch and the lining. Hope you can see these here. They are inside, just like in a little den. Everything should be together, sewed up. I don't like these lines yet, but what are scissors for? I can change all that by myself. And I also don't like these wonky wavy lines, so I'm trying to baste these by hand at first with a running stitch so that crotch and lining go together. Also, I am sewing on some elastic trim, again with a zigzag stitch. And as you can see, my machine was having a little bit trouble with the thickness of the 3 layers together. So it is, yeah, it's a mock-up. It's okay for a first thing, I think. Yeah, so the stitches themselves are okay, just the seams are a little bit wonky. Cutting off the seam allowance on the side seam, like this. And this is my mock-up. I didn't have enough elastic for the top part, but that doesn't matter for a mock-up. And then, of course, I'm correcting the pattern, trying these on, and I think the pattern itself is fairly okay. I like this book a lot. And to deal with the wonky lines, I am trying out a walking foot. This is it. I'm very happy that my mom has given me one of these together with the machine that she has given me. It's the first time I'm using this one as well, so a tryout is in place. Of course, you can compare the seams if you like. And now it's getting exciting. Stretch lace fabric, all polyester, I think. And I have done something with the pattern. As you can see, the crotch, of course, has to be a different fabric from the rest of it. I've chosen this one from my stash. It is also a stretch. It's very bouncy. It's not a cotton. What a shame. Yeah, and again, I'm cutting these off This time I'm changing my cutting technique and I'm using a blade cutter. I think it's called a blade cutter in English. Correct me if I'm wrong. You're welcome. So if you have one of these at home and a cutting mat, of course, please be careful when you're using this. The blades are very sharp. As I've changed my pattern, I can't really use this switching technique that I've used on the mock-up before. So thinking, what am I doing? How is this supposed to work? The one side is going to be the sandwich technique, basting again with a very fine needle so that I have my seams all nice and ready. And I think I've got a pearl needle at the right, I don't know. The zigzag stitch, of course, again, and this time the walking foot. So trying this out with those fabrics is also a very good idea, just to be sure that nothing entangles in itself with those two laces and one very slinky fabric. And I think it looks all right. Looks okay. It's not so many waves, I think. This is not ironed, by the way, as you can see. So I'm content with that. Again, cutting off the seam allowances very, very narrowly, just next to the stitches. So we get a very inconspicuous seam. And I think I like this. The left one not so much, but I think those are beginner mistakes and I can take them as a learning process. And the side seams, again, cutting off the seam allowances, and then you have it. It's complete. This has taken me a day, and I think those are my 4th pants, and I think I can be proud of them. Thanks for watching. Bye!